welcome to Loki. I said I wasn't going to do it, but here we are. I decided I was actually going to do Loki because episode 1 was phenomenal and I want to join the conversation. I want to talk about it. I did talk about it I recorded about a half an hour segment of me going through episode 1 and kind of talking about my favourite bits, talking about some theories, talking about, just bits that I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, I didn't check my settings, and for some reason, it wasn't, I don't know what had happened, but it didn't record my audio, so you can watch me talk in silence for 30 minutes and try and lip read what I'm saying if you want, but that doesn't exist. I want to do the Loki video slightly differently to my usual reactions, because I didn't react to episode 1. That's why I did a half-hour discussion about it, which unfortunately I will have to do a too long to read summary of what I said. But yeah, these videos are going to be slightly different. I'm going to do Loki in 2 parts, so first 3 episodes, last 3 episodes, 2 different videos, because I want to try doing it that way. It might take pressure off me to do a video each week as well as keeping up with Expanse. And yeah, I just want to try out doing it slightly different. So, I've been a fan of the MCU since around 2014, 2015-ish. Big fan in those 3 years between then and Endgame. I have been hit by the Marvel fatigue. I haven't kept up with any of the recent shows. I think I've watched the first episode of like the last 4 shows that have come out. And nothing more than that. But Loki has me back in. Loki has me very excited. Loki season 1 was one of my favourite of the first few shows that came. One of my favourite Marvel Disney shows in general. Loki and Moon Knight are tied for my favourite Disney shows, I think. Episode 1. Let's see if I can remember the basic points of what I said. So, the acting was phenomenal. I loved how we got right back into it. Tom Hiddleston plays Loki so well. I've always enjoyed his performance. The way he conveys Loki's fear, the way Loki is reeling from what happened at the end of season 1. I have since gone back and rewatched season 1. So I've watched episode 1, rewatched season 1, ready to get into this. Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson's chemistry is so good. I love those two. I love their relationship, their bromance. And I think it's very good for both of them because Mobius doesn't necessarily have many friends, and Loki definitely doesn't. Loki needs someone who believes in him and who will push him. And they have just such a great friendship. Loki and Sylvie is a relationship that I'm still not quite sure where I stand on, because on the one hand it's kind of weird, and I think I would prefer a more sibling dynamic between the two of them. But on the other hand, the fact that it's a romance really fits with the themes and with Loki's character arc in season 1. What else did Ouroboros. Love Ouroboros. Love the 3-way time conversation they had. They did it really well in the framing of it. Like the cinematography was really good. The way Loki and Mobius were framed the same way. The 2 versions of Ouroboros were framed the same way. Yeah, that scene was so well done. There's just the cinematography and the film language in this show is beautiful. Like you have things like the long shot where Ouroboros chucks the book over his shoulder and Loki catches it, and then it continues onto a shot. Like, I want to know how many times that took to take, because you have the camera moving, you have throwing the book over the shoulder, catching it. Like that, both of them had to do that perfectly, and then stepping perfectly, and then the light breaks, and that's all in one shot, and there's a lot of different moving parts that need to work perfectly to make that shot work. The writing, fantastic. Things like Mobius writing skin on the dust first serves as a joke, serves as a like insight into Mobius's mind and where he's at the moment. But it also then serves as a plot point, which indicates good writing, because if you can do something that does more than one thing, then you're doing a good job. And the show introduces, like, it promises things. It says, like, you know, Loki has been pruned, we don't know who by. You know, Sylvie is here. We don't know how she got here. You will get an answer to this some point. It sets up character arcs. You know where Loki is mentally. You know where Mobius is. You know where Sylvie is, even, with the little post-credit scene. You know where all the characters are starting, so you can follow them easily wherever they're going next. Which, always, you know, fantastic writing in that. And I hope that continues throughout the rest of the show. And then there's also the politics going on. So the things I've noticed about what the current situation is. We have something going on in the past. When Loki first arrived in the past, you know, at the end of season 1, past Mobius and B-15, we're talking about branching timelines. And there's people running around, there's chaos going on, there were timelines branching on the screen. So some catastrophes happening then. We have Renslayer working with He Who Remains, not sure what's going on there. I'm assuming this is after she left at the end of season 1, not sure. We have the General and her son, I'm assuming, who are trying to find Sylvie, maybe trying to destroy timelines. You got people going through time doors to do who knows what. We have Sylvie on a adjacent Earth in the 80s at McDonald's. And that was great, because again, like, you know where Sylvie's at. You can see that she's like, I have this chance to live a life that I've never known before. And that's great. Yeah. I think that's enough of a shortened, abridged version of what I originally said. I may do something like that for something else at some point, because I really did enjoy going through that and talking. But alas, it is now lost to the void, and now I'm paranoid that this is not recording properly. Either way, I'm going to enjoy this episode. But yeah, no, I may do that kind of thing with another show that I've already seen and already enjoyed, kind of work through it like that. We'll see. I may not have time, because I'm trying to now keep up with Loki and The Expanse and improve my editing abilities and life, because that's, yep, jobs and moving and people and hobbies. Anyway, let's watch this episode, shall we? I've been home for like 2 hours and I haven't sat down to watch it. I wanted to do that like half an hour ago, but my video didn't record. That was my episode 1 discussion. I'm ready to watch episode 2 because I've waited way too long for this. It's getting to be close to past my bedtime. And even though it's Friday night for me, I might start losing my mind a little bit. Maybe have low energy by the end, and maybe have high energy. It could go either way. Let's find out. I have hot chocolate also. Cozy TV time on a Friday night. Also, McDonald's workers who we talk to?
There are people with
Human
lives
SpongeBob.
on those branches.
Ooh,
Thoughts?
hello.
Intact. Plus
Look
we
at
got
these
a hit
dapper
on a tin pad
boys.
that belonged to Hunter X5 before.
Zanuck. Brad Wolf. Is that an actual movie? I'm not hugely clued in. Brad. I feel like this is not an actual actor.
X5 is an actor now, or he's undercover.
Huh.
Looks pretty
Okay.
real to me.
Do we know X5? I can't remember if he was in season 1.
I don't know how I feel, but I know
So
it looks
is that
pretty darn good.
X5
Come
or
on,
is
look
that
at this.
X5 variant?
Pretty darn Mobius. Whoa!
Okay, it
See,
is.
I'm forgetting about the little people.
Afterwards, all right?
Let's catch up now,
Yeah.
maybe.
Down here. Hey.
Oh, this
Illinois.
is great. Seeing them on
Everything's
missions together. More of this.
I'm actually really glad to see you both.
Oh, I'm fine.
Hold on.
All right. We'll
I'm
do
confused.
Whiskeys.
X5 is X5 the one who was with the general? Is this in the future? This is episode 2, right?
Can have a drink while we're down here. Is he running now? He is running.
Oh, B-50. Well, now we can't time jump.
Your life here?
Oh yeah, Loki can use magic here. Oh, he looks mad.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a different one? What is going on? Like, when is this, is my question. Because it doesn't seem like it's immediately after what we last saw. Because I'm pretty sure X5 was, like, at the TVA in the last episode. Oh.
So sophisticated X5.
Oh, of course.
Oh, he's leveled up on
you're
his
in sense now?
conjuring. Oh, I love seeing Loki use his magic again. We didn't see much of that in season 1. Oh, this is cool. I love seeing Loki's magic like that. That's great. Okay, I still want to know what is going on.
Do you think this is a higher priority than preventing a temporal meltdown?
No.
I just focused on the temple.
No, yeah, no.
Seems prudent.
Temporal meltdown, yeah.
Okay. Everything you need to know
Seems good
about
plan.
this, I wrote about it in here.
The manual. Okay. Research time.
Annie, why would tracking her temp pad be a secret?
Right.
Oh, let him be on a secret mission.
But no,
Oh,
no hits.
Casey deserves a
Christmas minutes
secret
down,
mission.
the analyst.
Ready? We'll try it again. Because I don't think you had that
that's so
pressed
good.
back, did you? It's too complicated. Wait, am I on the wrong page or?
This reminds me of that bomb game where you have someone trying to dismantle the bomb, someone trying to read the instructions.
Where are they? Renslayer, Miss Minutes.
Not sure, but I'll keep searching.
Can Miss
If there's
Minutes
a hit on the
be
temp pad, I'll let you know.
somewhere?
But it'll take tracking. That's not what it does.
Yes, Casey!
Yeah. Haven't you read the TVA guidebook?
Of course he's read the guidebook. I'm still so confused about what happened with X5 because he was there talking to the general.
Where's
last-
Docs?
Yeah.
Where's Sylvie? And
Okay.
what did he do to that temp pad? That's all we need to find out.
General Docs disappeared while Mobius and Loki were
So don't let him get under your skin.
stabilizing Loki. This is a terrifying room.
Why don't you go ahead and take this?
There are lives at stake. Oh, you have got some nerve. There are lives at stake.
Hurting where it hurts.
It's riveting.
Oh, Loki, be careful.
For Mobius, for B-15, for your mother.
Ooh, right where it hurts. I'm curious how much of this reaction is real as well.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah,
Very much.
he's slightly more
I really am
emotionally
touched.
stable now, I think.
Yeah, maybe that is who I am. Yeah, he knows.
Mobius is like, what are you
Real
doing?
me. Perhaps I've just been waiting for a moment like
Oh,
this.
the angle on that. And it's so good. Like, Loki is kind of towering over him, making it so much more intimidating.
Awful
And
things
Mobius in the corner there.
to you.
I got a little tense.
I feel like that was
Hey, you want to hear a good
fully
one?
intentional.
They took us. You know they took our lives, and you're still here. I mean, it's kind of weird, man. I mean, you need to wake
He's
up.
I'm awake.
Yeah, no, you're
He's
asleep.
pretty
You need
good
to
at
wake
trying to
up,
target
Mobius. And
people
until you
at their
do,
weak points.
You're nothing.
And until you wake up, you're just a nowhere man. You're a
Nowhere man! You're a silly little man! Silly little...
Silly little man. Okay.
Moby.
Yes. I love that because it's Loki the one you think you should be worried about, but Mobius is the one who actually broke under the pressure because he does want to know who he is. Whereas Loki, I think, is a lot more comfortable in who he is because he knows what he's done and he is not letting that define him. And whereas Mobius doesn't know who he is, so he doesn't have a stable foundation. Loki does have a stable foundation, even if it is born from the horrible things he's done in the past.
I'm fine.
What happened back there?
Nothing.
It seemed like nothing.
I love the switch because Mobius is usually the cool, calm, in control one, and Loki is the one who's all over the place emotionally. But now it's kind of switched, so Loki is the one who is confronting and talking him down, and Mobius is the one who is not able to control his emotions.
Where are we?
I was following you.
No, I was following you.
You were in front, Mobius.
You were clearly ahead of me.
Yeah. Oh, that looks so good! Oh my gosh! That's just a kind of intimidating room, I won't lie.
That wasn't tactical. I lost it.
I love their friendship
Okay.
so much.
You remember that time? I was so angry with my father and my brother. I went down to Earth and I held the whole of New York City hostage with an alien army.
Because it's not my life.
But it could have been.
It isn't. This is.
Ah,
I'd like to
he's-
thank the guy who kidnapped me and
He's
brought me
doing
here.
the if I don't think about it, it doesn't affect me thing.
Something bad I can handle. What if it's something good? Do you think I want to have that rattling around in here? Of course not.
Sure.
Oh, this I feel like this is hitting a bit too close to home here. It's that, like, I don't want to try this. I don't want to investigate this because what if I'm not able to handle it, you know? Oh, that looks so cool. Invalid temporal aura? What does that mean? What is going on right now? What is this? What are they doing? Oh.
Turns out.
Hey! Oh, they make such a good team.
Brad.
I enjoy seeing him play into the villain
You almost
side.
got me. Look at that. Earlier I said some really hurtful things. What does this one do? Sorry. I guess there's a learning curve with this thing, right? Yeah, there is a learning curve. You know, you
I feel
can
like
kill
he
me
knows
with that.
exactly how to use it.
Could I? Brad, I don't know if you know this, but I've done some terrible, awful things.
Yeah, you have. You're doing one.
Yeah. He's using that way too precisely.
Tell me where
Also,
Sylvia is, Brad. She's on a branch. You know where Sylvia is.
and now Mobius opens the
Are they
door.
as good as your plan?
Thank you.
Oh dear.
Obi?
That's not a good thing to hear from your tech person.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you. We're all gonna die.
What do you mean?
I love Obi so much.
Yes,
You wrote the TVA guidebook.
you've read it?
Read it. I practically memorized it.
Nerds.
Will you sign
Obi looks
mine
so
for me?
Of course I
happy.
will. And only the person who designed it can open it with a live scan of his temporal aura.
Oh.
He who remains.
So without Miss Minutes to help us override the lock,
Uh-oh.
we're stuck.
Just head on in, and remember,
I love Loki's
I'm the one who brought
coat.
you here, and a
Like,
deal's a deal. All
That's
right?
exactly
So, you go
my
ahead, I'm
style
around
of
back,
coat.
right?
I'll do the talking. Be ready.
This is not going to go well.
Dale, orders up.
Working at McDonald's. Good for her. I got rejected 5 times. Her hair has grown a fair bit, so it must have been a while that she's here.
I'm not going anywhere until I get some apple pie.
McDonald's apple pie is pretty good. Oh, the music. She is thriving. Good for her.
You like it here? You like this place? You've made a home? If what He Who Remains said is true, the TVA is the only defense.
Hell, you were just setting us up for a great meal. Thank you.
Has Mobius ever had McDonald's before?
Complicated relationship, okay? There's a lot to unpack when you're basically
Very true
in a
statement.
relationship with yourself.
You slap me in the face. I'm not gonna
I got
forget
you a
that you're
shake, okay? Just enjoy this. Tell me about Zaniac.
What about it?
I want to know about it.
Oh, come on.
Come, please.
You don't care
I
about my
love
movie.
Mobius
Brad,
so
I
much.
saw the poster.
If we stay here, we're all gonna die.
What?
They're gonna die. Orange shirt, she's gonna die. Most importantly, we are all gonna die. This is gone unless we.
Ooh, here we go. Now, I was wondering what was going on.
They're going to bomb every branch.
Yeah, including this one.
She's gonna prune all the new branches.
That's
She
a
already
lot
is.
of pruning.
She's modified.
Looks similar to what Sylvie did.
branches.
This is a cool set. Oh. Oh, that was nice.
Don't overthink it.
Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, I love the power up if they do it together. That felt a little bit rushed. Uh-oh. Oh, she came with them.
Those are people.
Oh. Was she in a prune timeline? Oh, that crossing of her arms, just putting her walls up.
So please don't. It's harder to stay.
I love their friendship.
Cool. Cool.
Jack? Is your mum on her way to pick you up?
Yeah. If she'll be here, I'm good.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
That exchange activated my big sister instincts, and now that kid is my little brother. And if anything bad happens to him, then I'm gonna be upset. So all of the branching timelines have been pruned, although obviously not all of them because Sylvie's timeline was still existing. I did feel like that this is the kind of show it is, so once I figured out that they were doing it intentionally and that I got the character right, X5 being on the timeline, I felt a little bit just disjointed in the way that was told, because it felt very jarring being like, wait, suddenly X5 is now on the timeline living a life? What happened there? But the way the show plays with time, I guess it kind of worked. It doesn't help that I'm really bad at recognizing people, so seeing him out of his like TVA uniform, I was like, who is this man? I have no knowledge of him. So Sylvie is on the timeline. Loki still very clearly I cares for her. I like that the show acknowledges how weird it is. That's another reason why I'm kind of okay with the Loki and Sylvie thing. Because the show acknowledges, like, yeah, this is weird. You know, Mobius and X5 were having that conversation. Like, this is weird. Yeah, we agree. We acknowledge that this is kind of weird. But it's all about the themes. I loved seeing Loki let out his villain side. He's such a fun villain, and he's such a fun hero as well. But seeing him play that role was great. And seeing him choose to play that role instead of being forced into that role or feeling like he has to be in that role is great. So Loki and Mobius. I love their friendship. It's like even things like Loki just silently touching Mobius at the end, like they don't even have to look at each other, but Loki's like touching him on the shoulder like a it's okay kind of thing. I love the switch up that Mobius is now the emotionally unstable one. In the first season, he was kind of the straight man against Loki's more emotionally chaotic character, as Loki kind of figured out what the TVA was, what everything is going on. But now that's switched, and Loki is the one who's much more stable and secure, whereas Mobius is having his entire world crumble around him and trying to pick up the pieces in that, and also trying to deal with not being in control, because I imagine Mobius is the kind of character who's always been in control of himself and in his emotions. But now his world is crumbling around him. He's having a huge paradigm shift and realizing that how he thought he was created is wrong. He has this whole other life that he lived that he's forgotten about. And he's trying to come to terms with that. And obviously that's going to bring up emotional baggage. And I don't think he quite knows how to deal with that, because he's so used to being emotionally in control. So it's really cool seeing Loki kind of take the more emotionally stable character at the moment, although not really when it comes to Sylvie. So if Dox has been taken into custody so quickly, then who is the bad guy going to be in the future? Are we going... I guess Renslayer maybe, because we got the ping on her tempad. I'm not sure quite exactly what happened, but I got the impression that she was on a branch timeline that got bombed, so then she had to move, is what I'm guessing happened. So yeah, I'm curious to see what she's doing, curious to see what she and Miss Minutes are up to. Untrustworthy, sneaky things, I'm sure. And are they working for He Who Remains still, or are they working for another Kang variant? Is the Kang variant who set up the TVA He Who Remains? Because that's what I'm thinking at the moment. But it could be someone else completely different. Loki's character arc is my favorite thing. Like, throughout the MCU, it wasn't quite explored as deeply as I wanted it to. We almost got there with Ragnarok. But then he got killed immediately in Infinity War. Like, we got to the point where I wanted to see Loki, but we didn't see him going beyond that. But in this show, we're actually seeing him living the struggle of a redeemed life, and I feel like there's definitely a big conversation to be had about redemption arcs and, you know, changing and forgiveness and whatnot. Loki maybe not the best example of redemption arc, because, I mean, he's a good example, don't get me wrong, because he has done horrible things. He was a villain, and he did, you know, he is turning it around, and he is making an effort. And he's not letting his previous evil deeds do not erase his ability to be redeemed. And I think that's an important thing that I love seeing in redemption arcs, is when a character has done genuinely horrible things, but those things are not excused in their redemption arc. Those things are acknowledged and said, you have done these bad things, but there is still forgiveness and redemption. And it's a very Christian mindset, because that is the core belief of Christianity, because humanity has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But there is still forgiveness in the cross of Christ. And I love seeing that in, you know, echoes of that in shows, you know. Loki has killed thousands of people, and yet he is still able to be redeemed. Now, Loki maybe not... And now Loki is a fantastic redemption character, but I think where it gets where it isn't quite going as far as it could is that the tendency towards redeemable characters being broken characters, and everyone I think is broken to some extent. We live in a broken world, but there is a trend between two characters who are redeemed are characters who have had a difficult past, who have been abused, who have had all, you know, bad things happen, which in many cases people say excuses their actions or could be seen to excuse their actions. You know, like Loki, for instance. He did these horrible things, but you could say that he was forced into this path. I mean, the discussion of free will versus predestination in the first season, rather. Yeah, you could argue that Loki was kind of pushed into the role due to circumstances, family, Thanos manipulating him. There's arguments that he was being controlled with the Mind Stone in Avengers. So there's all these arguments like, you know, Loki could... He's a likable character before he has his villain, you know, even before he's redeemed, which can make the redemption seem a little cheaper, but it also makes it more satisfying because you want that character to be redeemed. Anyway, all that to say, I like when characters who have done bad things are able to be redeemed, and I think that's one of the reasons why I love Loki so much, the show, and the character. Because his character arc is a redemption arc. And as someone who has been redeemed, I love redemption arcs. Anyway, that was a long ramble that came out of nowhere but was absolutely inevitable given the topic of this show. Let's keep going, shall we? It's the Marvel tune, but it's Plinky Plonky. That's amazing. Also, in the intervening week between recording this episode and the last one, I saw a theory that Jack, the kid who works at McDonald's, is maybe Mobius, and that is where he's from on the timeline. Oh, this is a fun set. This feels like a Doctor Who episode. 1868. What are you doing here, Renslayer? Oh, Miss Minutes is terrifying. What is she?
What? It was his plan, meant to protect all of time.
What? Who was in 1868 in Chicago, Illinois? That's amazing.
This package.
What is the package?
That window.
At this exact moment in time, yes.
I don't like
And what
that.
do I get him?
You and I will be right by his side.
So, is the TVA that Loki saw in the past then a future version of He Who Remains? Is this Kid Kang? He was from the future though, wasn't he? Oh, it's the guidebook. Very Doctor Who and Back to the Future at the same time.
We can hack into the system.
Really? Oh, that is such a relief.
And how are we gonna find a little rogue cartoon clock that doesn't want to be found?
Go to where Renslayer was.
We find Renslayer, we find Miss
Yes.
It's gonna be an awkward reunion.
Yeah.
Fate.
I still want to know what Miss Minutes is, because she's weird.
Put a hit on the
I love the costumes.
Chicago World's Fair, 1893. The White City, Edison.
Hot air balloons.
Yes, hot air balloons.
This is cool.
Yes.
Saying they went to 1860.
Oh, all the costumes are so cool. Oh,
Is
the
that here?
costumes.
Only one way to find out.
They look so good.
Ghost clock continues to haunt the Midway.
Ghost clock?
Hey.
Oh, ghost clock. Oh, there she is.
Yes.
Yeah, the Cracker Jack concession stand is a high traffic area. It was necessary and logical to go there.
Sure.
The fact that it's
Honestly, I don't care about the plot. I just want to see these two doing time shenanigans. It's itching that Doctor Who scratch in my brain.
This has to be a joke.
Oh.
Does it make you a little homesick?
It's completely inaccurate, Gosling.
You don't think that looks
It's
like
not
Odin?
too bad.
You know, sometimes I forget that you're one.
Oh,
You
yes.
are one of them.
Oh, yeah, I've been wanting some more.
Thor's not that tall.
I've been wanting some more nods to the rest of Asgard. Ooh.
That can't be a
Victor
coincidence.
Timely.
I think she's here.
Think?
This is making me
Feels
ridiculously
like a
happy.
good drink.
There's too many people here. This is already making me nervous.
But perhaps we
Sounds like Jonathan Majors. It is.
It.
Oh.
It's him.
Goodness, the fear in his face.
Made him sound like this terrifying figure.
Don't be shocked.
Yes.
Oh, Loki is so scared right now. What? How is he here then?
And gathering it into fine threads of
Time?
power.
Oh.
Order. With my device,
He is very engaging. I'm just sitting here watching because I'm like, oh, what is he doing? Well, it's a pretty light show, that's for sure.
Welcome to
Mobius is loving this.
Excuse me. Thank you for coming.
$1,000. That's my final.
Dang, inflation. Oh. Oh, well played. He got him to start the bidding so that's smooth. Loki.
Outside. Excellent suggestion. I agree. Come on.
The amazing Loki, everyone! Where are we?
What happened to the guy? Did he get teleported outside? He's a con man.
Confidence trickster.
Loki's impressed.
Excuse me.
I feel like we're gonna see the Norse place again. At least I hope we are. Because they kind of planted that seed and haven't fully developed it yet. Why are we going? Ferris wheel feels like it's a bad place to be. You're gonna get trapped. Oh, I see. I see. He's trapping them in there. Okay, that makes more sense.
A heads up, Casey has had a really weird tempad reading.
Uh-oh.
Weird, like dangerous? Where?
About 10 feet from where you're standing.
Uh-oh.
Sylvie!
Oh.
Sylvie, no!
Oh. 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 How did she know? How did she get here?
TVA.
Oh.
I know! You just want to be able to learn to live a life on your branch.
Do you think I'm gonna get any joy out of killing that
Why
man?
not try the other way then?
Where do you think he got that book? Enslayer set him on a path that he wasn't meant for.
How do you
And
know
now
this,
you
Sylvie?
are waltzing him straight back into the TVA.
But we need him. The TVA.
Timmy's like, what is going on?
You haven't got a clue, have you?
What do you know that we don't, Sylvie? Oh, I love seeing them use their powers.
You're home.
And now the power-up is a bad thing. She can interact with the world. What is she?
Loki, come on!
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Absolutely not.
Yes, do it, please. Please. There's a weird vibe here.
Very.
I feel like he doesn't have many friends to show his inventions
So,
to.
did you like my...
You are absolutely singular.
Why, thank you. You're pretty singular yourself.
And he's kind of not, that's the point.
What is going on?
Yeah, I want to know as well. I feel like I've been missing clues the entire season.
That is why you need me by your side. I'll keep you safe.
I feel like this has happened before.
He switches sides. It's a well-documented behavior trait.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. Oh, come on. We didn't get a full scene of them on the bike. I'm disappointed.
Go ahead. I beg your pardon.
Oh, come on. That was a bit explosive, Loki. You've got more subtlety than that.
Okay,
I love the set for this. He's obviously done this before.
Divine hand. I've never found out.
Miss Minutes looks so smug there. There's a weird vibe between them. It's kind of cute though.
You know, Victor, I'm starting to see the man you'll become.
I don't think I trust that. Ooh. Miss Minutes seemed to like that he pulled back there. Oh, oh. Oh, I bet that was Miss Minutes, wasn't it?
You had to do it.
Yep. Yep, there. You know what would be helpful right here? jet ski.
Oh, take your time. Don't worry.
Oh, she's so creepy.
So smart, Victor.
What do you want? What are you doing? I do not
Now
trust.
that you liked Ravona better than me.
That was such an ominous color change. I almost got chills.
I was allowed to have wants and follow whims and become who I am.
Does she not want to do
Each night we played chess.
He Who
and
Remains
talked.
Wants?
Why didn't you allow me a real body? Your girl.
That's really creepy, Miss Minutes.
Victor, hey, you need me, I love you.
I love it when that AI gains sentience and falls in love with her creator. Oh, dang.
Very.
Is that a time stick? Oh, there they are.
Step away from him.
Done.
This dude is having a weird day.
What do you do?
You have no idea what it takes to lead, to act, to keep order. All that matters is order versus chaos.
Okay, Loki.
I'm order.
Loki's chaos, though. Yeah. And there she is. The hair flip.
You don't know me. You don't know the heart.
Yeah, Sylvie, you keep insisting you're not
I
Loki.
have beating.
Oh. Oh, are we gonna learn what Sylvie's Nexus event was? Because I want to know what Sylvie's Nexus event was.
It's crippling, that kind of obsession. I'm starting to realize that.
Yes. Now, was this all part of the plan? Because this could be part of the plan. I don't like that she's here. It's a bit creepy.
Well, it was foolish of him to make an enemy out
Okay,
of someone
not
who
part of
knows
the plan.
all his secrets. I know a really big one about you. It's gonna make you real angry.
Do tell. They're not gonna tell, are we? Ugh. Why? Why? Ah. Ooh, so. We have a He Who Remains variant, who, I don't know why he was in the 1800s, because from memory wasn't the original He Who Remains from like the future, like the 31st century or something, he said. I guess variants don't have to be in the same timeline. That is weird though, because, yeah, okay, I won't think about it too much, because it's probably one of those things where you're like, okay, if I think about it too much, it won't make sense, so we'll just enjoy it as it is. I love the aesthetic of that kind of almost steampunk, industrial revolution kind of aesthetic was so cool. Absolutely love talking about themes of shows, and this is a large part of why I started this YouTube channel. So, with this show, I am picking up that we have big themes of, I mean, we've got the free will kind of versus like a set path kind of thing. And that was in the first season. And we've got discussions of like, you know, free will, can you be someone different? You've got Timely as a He Who Remains variant versus Sylvie as a Loki variant. And Timely's saying like he can be a different man, when Sylvie throughout the whole season has been saying that she's not Loki throughout the whole show. I think what stood out to me most in this episode and in the previous one, which I talked about a little bit in that discussion, but in this episode is the redemption kind of finding purpose when your purpose has been taken away. And that's kind of happening for the whole of the TVA now, in that their purpose has been stripped away. They don't know what they're doing anymore. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing, so they're just kind of scrambling for the pieces. And in many ways, Mobius and Ravonna have the same goals. They want to stabilize the TVA. But they're going about it in different ways, and they're finding different sources for their purpose, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I think the main players in this field of like finding something after you know, being lost and finding yourself again is obviously Loki and his redemption arc. And he lost his purpose, realized his purpose was hurting people and hurting himself. So he's looking for another purpose and something else to redeem himself. Yeah, so we've got Loki, who lost his purpose and realized that his previous purpose was hurting other people and hurting himself. And then next you have Sylvie, who she tried to find her purpose through revenge, right? And she was talking in this episode that she imagined Ravonna killing Ravonna in, you know, thousands of different ways, but it's eating her inside. She chose to let the He Who Remains variant go because she's starting to maybe see that indulging in the cycles will only cause more pain both for yourself and for those around you. I think her redemption is almost coming from a place of it didn't help me, where Loki is almost coming from a place of I don't want to hurt people anymore. And then you have Ravonna Renslayer, who's looking for power, but also I think she's looking for purpose in many ways. Very curious to know what is happening at the end of time. Part of me feels like that's still part of Miss Minutes' plan at least, but I don't know. Miss Minutes is absolutely terrifying for a little holographic clock, by the way. I feel like I've got so many different thoughts, but they're still settling in my mind because I just finished watching the episode. So it might take me a week or so to process them. Maybe at the start of the second video I do in 3 weeks, I'll do a breakdown, or maybe I'll do a completely separate video where I do a breakdown of themes and stuff, because especially Loki's character is one that I'm loving so much because he is a sinner in search of redemption, and he recognizes that he has done wrong in the past and he is trying to make amends for it. And I absolutely love those kinds of arcs. I love arcs that don't diminish or erase the bad that characters have done, but still offer forgiveness. And this show does it beautifully, because you've got Loki, we've got Sylvie as well as kind of getting there. And you feel even bad for Renslayer because of Mobius, because he obviously cares about her still. I was hoping we'd find out what Sylvie's Nexus event was, because that was in the flashback, in the recap at the start of the episode, that conversation. I want to know what it was. Does it even matter though? Also, really liked the little nod towards Thor and Odin. You get a little bit of Loki, like, Loki struggles so much to show how much he cares about his family. Especially Avengers Loki, because MCU Loki had a couple more movies to figure out how to deal with his emotions towards his family. But this Loki, the last time he saw his family was in Avengers, and Thor was beating the crap out of him. Although technically I think it was the other way around from memory. Thor didn't have much luck when he went against Loki. But this Loki, like, seeing the statues of his family, realizing he's probably not gonna see them again, and then hiding all of that behind a jab at Thor. Beautiful.
Thor's not that tall.
I love it. I want to dig in a bit more deeper and see that expanded upon, and see him coming to terms with the loss of his entire family and people, because Like, he knows what happens, and he knows his mother is dead, and Asgard is gone, and his father is dead, etc. But he only saw it through a recording, so I'm like, personally, I wouldn't quite be able to process it unless I was actually on the timeline and felt the effect and wasn't in a completely different reality. You know what I mean. But yeah, I want to see more exploration of Loki's previous connections on the MCU. I'd love to see Thor show up, but I doubt that's going to happen. See, I feel like my biggest question at the moment is what was happening in the flashback. Because, like, when Loki was being dragged back and forth in time, when he went back in time, Renslayer and He Who Remains had a conversation. And the TVA was in chaos with branching timelines everywhere. So what was going on there? Like, I feel like plans have already been in action. And is the He Who Remains who was in that past, who was that statue, and who was talking to Renslayer on the recording, was he the same He Who Remains that Loki and Sylvie killed? Or I should say Sylvie. Loki didn't really help. Or is he a different variant, and we haven't seen that happen yet? Like, is what Loki and Mobius are doing in the show going to cause what happened in the past? Time travel! I feel like we didn't quite get as much Loki and Mobius as I wanted in that episode, but also the tandem bike kind of makes up for it, and I want a full scene of them riding that. Someone get me behind the scenes footage, and also some fan art. Right, well, that'll do it for me. We'll definitely be pondering this episode far into the week. You know what? I'm going to try and get my Discord server up and running properly this weekend. So hopefully by the time this video is posted, that will be in its beginning stages. So if you want to jump over there and continue the discussion, because by the time I edit this video up and post it, hopefully my thoughts will have settled a bit more. And I would gladly indulge in conversation over on Discord. So I'll put a link to that in the description if that's up and running. If it's not, I will try and get it up and running soon and make a post about it or something. I don't know. Keep an eye out. I want a Discord server. Be fun to chat more. And get to know people better in a more personal basis instead of just me staring at a camera. Right, anyway, that will do this video for today. Let me know if you liked the multiple episodes in one video. I'm trying something out. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys head off, grab a drink, get a snack, take a nap, go for a walk, go and do something that isn't on YouTube for a little bit, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.